Welcome to the Hey Docs podcast with your host, Jill Allen. Today we're joined by Mari Sawtelle from Mari's List, the largest ortho-exclusive buying group in the United States. In this episode, we'll dive into the risks of the gray market, the hidden fees many buying groups don't talk about, and how orthodontists can save money without compromising quality. If you're ready to take control of your practice's purchasing power, this episode is for you. Let's get started. This episode was brought to you by Gray Finch. Hey docs, if you want to have a great business, the right practice management software is essential. But some can be slow, outdated, and lacking good support. That's why I recommend Gray Finch to all orthodontists. It's the fastest, most reliable, and most secure platform to grow your business and improve your efficiency. It's completely web-based, so you can run your entire practice anywhere and from any device with no servers, no downloads, or hidden fees. They even have the most helpful and responsive support team around. Right now, Gray Finch is giving a $500 discount to our listeners. Visit grayfinch.com/Jill Allen to learn more and see why it's one of the fastest growing providers in America. Hey docs, it's that time of year again. AAO 2025 is just around the corner and we can't wait to see you in Philadelphia. Jill Allen and Associates will be at booth number 2250, so be sure to stop by. Whether you're new and looking to connect, an industry partner, or a friendly face from the past, we'd love to catch up. And since this year's theme is the biggest party ever, we're kicking off things right with an exclusive happy hour sponsored by Provide, the leader in tech-enabled financial services for aspiring and established healthcare practice owners on April the 24th. Great people, great conversations, and the perfect way to start AAO in style. Spots are limited, so you must RSVP. But listen, guys, the fun doesn't stop there. Join us at our other co-hosted events, the Celebration Party on Friday and the Mari's List Party on Saturday. See you in Philly, and remember to come by and say hi at booth number 2250. Mari, I am so excited to have you on Hey Docs. How are you?
Hi, Jill. I'm doing awesome. How are you doing today?
I am good. I have been looking forward to doing this podcast with you. I know it's been a while and I know we're going to get to see each other soon, but man, I'm excited to have you on again and to just have you talk to us a little bit about yourself and the company with the listeners. So with that in mind, the way I like to start it off, if you remember from the last time, is would you mind giving us a little history in the event, this is hard for me to believe, that somebody would not know who you are, but in the event that they don't know who you are, don't know anything about Mari's List, or maybe your history in our ortho industry.
Okay. I'll try to condense 40 years quickly. It's not easy to do, but I don't want y'all to fall asleep. I started out with my goal to go on to, after college, dental school, to be an orthodontist. And fortunately, my dad, being a pharmacist, we had 4 family-owned drugstores. I think he knew enough about me that he knew that I probably wasn't going to be happy sitting in a chair with 4 walls around me. And so he suggested I go work for an orthodontist first and see if I like it. I was very blessed to work with a wonderful orthodontist. He was ABO. I learned to be a lab tech. I enjoyed it. I actually made jewelry before doing that. So I was really good with my hands. He said that I scored the highest in the dexterity test of the tests that I guess they give everybody. And yeah, I realized though that after 3.5 years of doing it, he was right. And there was an ad in the newspaper back then with a company, which was Dr. Andrews' company at the time. It was owned by Johnson & Johnson. I got the job. That's another story in itself, but I was with them a total of 13 years. I became the company trainer working alongside Larry Andrews, Dwight Damon, Ron Roth, Paul Ganji. Ormco acquired us. I stayed on a couple more years. I then got recruited by Joe Breland from A Company to be on the founding team for Invisalign. I had their lead market in Texas, and I wrote the training manual they used to get their ISO 9000. I learned an enormous amount from probably some of the best marketing people in the world, reporting to them with my lead market. And then I was recruited by GAC for a couple years. From there, I thought I wanted to go into consulting. But before I wanted to do that, I thought it would be good for me to go back into offices and develop everything that I wanted to develop in the outside world. I joined a practice with my husband, Matthew. He was the director of strategic development. I was the director of business development. When we started, it was in Texas and New Mexico. It was 3 doctors. In 3.5 years, we grew from 3 locations to 8 locations with 12 doctors. We brought in another marketing company, a new website that brought in great SEO. We did a lot of outside marketing, just totally revamped the whole company. And we grew it from 9 million to 28 million in 3.5 years. Wow. In the process of doing that, I built their formulary and I looked at where everything was coming from. I knew how to negotiate being on the inside for so long and who the best companies were. And so what I saw is we had good systems, but we didn't have great systems. And we needed to get everything into one place, which we did. I saved the company $1 million the first year. Wow. And we ran everything through QuickBooks. We were very organized. Back then, there was no ordering platforms or anything like that. We did everything with Google Docs. But it worked beautifully, and we never ran out of anything. And so we built some great systems, and I thought after doing that, I could take this out to all the doctors in the private practice world. Yeah. Yeah. And so we started the company in 2012 with 45 clients. We analyzed their practices for 2.5 years, and then we opened it up to all the orthodontists in private practice in the United States and Canada. We now have over 3,000 offices. We are the largest orthodontist exclusive buying group in the country, mostly member driven and really high retention rate. We continue to grow year after year.
Yeah, I love it. And again, what a story just to see that progression. And I always appreciate somebody who sees, say, a blue ocean and says, I can do something in that ocean there. And I definitely think that's what you have done with Mary's List. And I know many of the doctors that are listening now are part of the group or will be signing up once they get going. And you've really made a huge impact in the industry. So thank you for that.
It's been fun. We love it. My team, we're not a huge company, but I say we're small but mighty.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things that I think really sets you guys apart is your stance against the gray market. And I'm wondering if you can talk about what that means and why you think that we need to be concerned about that in our industry.
I mean, there's a lot of articles out there that Dr. Gordon Christensen has written about the gray market and the black market. We saw, I think, a trend to a lot more of that when COVID happened, just because it was hard to get products. Yeah. And since then, it just seems like it continues to grow. With us, I tell the doctors this, that you can look at what each item costs you and sit and compare, but what really matters at the end of the day is what is your supply cost. And the typical orthodontist, where they start and where they end up with us, many times we cut their supply cost in more than half. We have members as low as 2.1% supply cost. Dr. Brian Bolerjack is one of our members that he shares his list on our portal of everything he buys. And he really tracks it year after year. We have actually, I think, 3 of our doctors with their list in the portal, and that's using no gray market. What gray market is, it means that you are buying a product that's not coming from an authorized dealer. And so it could be something that was sold in a warehouse where an ordering platform bought a large amount in bulk. It could be counterfeit. It could be close to expiration. Yeah. The lot number could be changed. You don't have the traceability. The problem with products like that is if you don't have the proper FDA 510K, all the clearances and all the traceability. If something happens to a patient, God forbid, and you get a call from an attorney, the manufacturer is not going to be there to stand behind it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't buy it from the manufacturer.
Mm.
And that leaves you open to a lot of liability. Your malpractice insurance won't cover you. It's just not worth the risk. And the interesting thing is that we keep an eye on everything. And we compare even to some of the companies that have gray market. And even then, overall, we're less.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it if you have somebody with a lot of buying power. And the way that we work, where we pass all the savings to our members, we don't take it. And we can talk more about that a little bit, some of the things on the backside, but that ends up reflecting in your price at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so our business model is just full transparency, no gray market.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I appreciate you talking about that a little bit because I think it is really easy. You and I both, we talk to a lot of doctors, and in the beginning, especially if they're newer, and not always if they're newer, but I think everybody's looking for ways to save money. And especially right now with inflation being up and just where we're at right now, sometimes patient starts down, inflation up. Everyone's going, oh, I need to suck in my belt a little bit more here.
Yep.
But I need to be, maybe it is enticing to go on to eBay and buy those things, or to go out there and, Amazon, or, all the different places you and I hear that doctors decide to go and buy from. So I'm curious if you can talk a little bit about just in general buying groups and what that means, because sometimes I've had doctors say, so you're telling me I've got to spend money to save money. Yes. But I'm wondering, from you being on the other side of it, what do you think docs need to be paying attention to, whether it's your group or any other group, if they are thinking, I'm going to get into a group to leverage and truly what group buying means and what they're getting out of that. Can you talk a little bit about that to us? And
Sure. When we first got started, there weren't a whole lot of buying groups. There was a few GPOs in the dental sector.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more now. There's a lot more platforms now. And so the industry has really changed. But at the end of the day, a lot of the buying groups that are out there, they have different ways to make money. Some charge a membership, some take a piece, some take a piece and charge a membership, keep chargebacks to themselves and affiliate deals. Some charge the dealers up to 10%, 8 to 10% if you're taking away from a dealer that runs a margin of, say, 20 to 30%. That is a huge part of your savings that you could be keeping.
Sure.
And so I think it's important, if you're looking at a buying group, ask them, do you take kickbacks? Do you keep affiliate deals? Do everything that you negotiate for us, do we get to keep it? Do you take a cut? Some take a monthly, some take a quarterly, some take a yearly. And with us, we don't take anything. We simply charge a membership. Yep. That was my business model from the very beginning. Both Paul Ganji and Jackie Dorst had recommended, if I wanted to do it, have full transparency so the doctors know everything you negotiate goes to them. Because an example is on house brands, if a company can discount, say, 20 to 30%, 30 to 50% on name brands, if the buying group is taking, say, 10%, that's a big chunk. Yeah. And we did a comparison for a doctor that just joined this week. He sent us over his pricing. We compared it to AmTouch, and it came back with over 20% savings.
Wow.
And 20% on consumables is a lot because orthodontists see the patients often up to 2 years. And the one-time use items, whether it be gloves, masks, wipes, tray covers, suction tips, microbrushes, bibs, etc., or a peripheral like arch wires, O-ties, chains, elastics, all those things in those categories, if an orthodontist overpays, have the biggest impact in their practice.
Yeah.
Just because of seeing the patient so often.
Yeah.
You don't change a bracket every appointment.
Yeah. And I can tell you, I know we work a lot and have a lot of common clients, but one of the things that I have really appreciated beyond what you guys are able to do just in the disposable component, some of the items you were just talking about, is also just the incredible deals you guys are able to negotiate, especially for my startups, again, where I always say those big ticket items, that's where it really makes a big difference. When we've got big companies that are giving us really good deals on our x-ray machines and our printers and these big ticket items that we have to buy in order to our chairs and our side carts and our compressors and these really big things that maybe some of our existing docs don't think so much about. They may be looking at this more from that repeatable, disposable component of it. But boy, it makes a big difference for my startups. And we can get in there and be like, wow, we're getting these big savings in these big ticket items.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'll have doctors join with us after they've opened and they've already bought everything. And then they're kicking themselves when they see what all we have to offer, because we're always negotiating more deals. We just recently did one for DCI with chairs. We currently have one going with SciCan. We just negotiated a rebate with ADEC. We're about to launch for the whole next year an exclusive group deal that we're going to be running through Midmark for all the sterilizers, vacuums, compressors, all the things they sell. We try to think of everything because orthodontists need a break room. They need refrigerators and televisions. We have deals on that. They need furniture. We have 3 of the top furniture lines with discounts. We have practice management software, websites. I think we have 9 labs on the list. Consultant discounts like you, practice management software like Wave and Gray Finch. And we're continually looking at the list and listening to our members and adding more companies where it makes sense. We don't have everybody. You don't need everybody. If a platform, and we look at a lot of different platforms out there, and if they say they're agnostic and you can buy from anybody, that's great. But if they're negotiating deals, then that means there's gray market if they're agnostic. And so we're just really careful. We don't want anything to happen to a doctor's patient or in the practice. And you don't need all the companies. If you have, I feel, a good list or a good array of all the things that orthodontists could possibly need, and pick the best ones for them to choose from. We don't have everybody, but you don't really need to. There's some companies we don't want, quite honestly, because it is also service. We know of different dealers that manufacturers have dropped other dealers because of service, and those are the ones that we stay away from. And so we're just real careful with the companies. The thing I hate the most is having something happen in a doctor's practice that may not be in my control, but I still have to go to bat to help, remedy the situation. I don't get a lot of calls. Usually if there's an issue, the companies take care of it themselves. They don't want our phones to ring. Yeah, absolutely. And I do appreciate you for doing that. And we've had to do that before. And I think both of us in the positions that we hold, sometimes we do have to go to bat for our clients. And I think when you're dealing with good companies, they're going to listen and they're going to rectify it, which is, again, it's nice to know you're out there vetting those companies. So here's something I would love for you to talk a little bit about. Thinking about just the cost of expenses and how easy I think it can be for offices or team members to overspend on supplies. I'm wondering if you can talk to us a little bit about, I don't know, maybe some strategies that you could give docs or team members that may be listening on how to cut costs without sacrificing quality, or some of that out there. Sure. As far as not over ordering, my team is really good. And we do a coaching call with all the doctors when they first join. They sign up in the portal with either Edwina, Lisa, or Corey, and they answer all the questions. After my first call, I make notes and steer the doctors in directions to say, looking at where they're buying things from currently. You don't ever want to run out. That was a big thing for us. And we never did because we built a really great system. And like I said, back then, there was no ordering software. And in a practice, a $28 million practice with 12 locations, we didn't actually need it because our systems were so dialed in. Every Friday, we closed at noon. Every assistant had a chair. They were responsible for replenishing everything in their chair for the next week. We stocked all the drawers and the cabinets around the chair. We called that on deck. They would pull from there to the chairs. And then anything they took from on deck to put in the chairs, they would go back to the front of storage and they would pull from there. As new products come in, they go into the back of storage. And our offices were anywhere from 6 chair offices to a couple of locations were like 21 chairs with 3 doctors. And if all your chairs are stocked and all your on deck is stocked, half your storage is stocked, you're not going to run out. And if you keep replenishing that without overstocking, you don't run out. You can save more money by doing, say, auto ships, because there's extra incentives if you do that. We recommend once a quarter, but we have a lot of our members that order once a month, but no more than once a month.
And now a word from the sponsors who make this podcast possible. Hey docs, is your team overwhelmed by endless admin tasks? Let My Ortho VA throw you a lifeline. With expert HIPAA-trained virtual assistants specializing in orthodontics, My Ortho VA helps streamline everything from billing and insurance to phone support and reporting. Right now, over 100 VAs are supporting 58 practices nationwide, cutting staffing costs by up to 60%. No onboarding fees, no long-term contracts. Just a simple, cost-effective way to transform your operations and focus on patient satisfaction. Brace for growth. Visit myorthova.com to interview your next best hire and align your practice for success. Hey docs, let's talk about Smile Suite, because it's not just another scheduling system. It's a game changer in the world of new patient management. And as a proud Smile Suite partner, I've witnessed the incredible impact it has on practices of all sizes. Smile Suite means your new patient calls and web leads are expertly handled 7 days a week, even during nights and weekends. And they offer top-notch customizable presentation software and seamless post-consultation follow-up. It's like having a secret weapon for your practice's success. Curious? Dive into the revolution at GetSmileSuite.com. And don't forget to mention Hey Docs to unlock some extra goodies. Elevate your practice with Smile Suite, because every smile deserves a suite of excellence. Yeah.
Because labor is money and time.
Yeah.
And so the more efficient you are in your system, I think that a lot of times what we saw in the past early on was offices didn't order enough to get them through for, say, a month. If you want to have enough to get you through a month, order 2 months worth. You have a month backup. If you want to order once a quarter or 4 months worth, you got a month backup. We have one doctor that he orders twice a year. That's it.
Wow.
And everything he needs. That's so efficient when you think about it. And he's got such a handle on his practice. We have a lot of doctors with incredibly low supply costs, where we look at before they come into where they are now. And like I said, we can cut it in half. And we try to go further than just that. We have companies that help the doctors with credit card fees. Our group as a whole collectively has saved over $4 million by reducing credit card fees with merchant cost consulting and their best negotiation. We also have accountants, we have architects, we have payroll through ADP, we have a wholesale deal. We really try to encompass every possible thing that, pretty much the orthodontists, say that they need. And we listen to our members and we listen to consultants like you and add more companies as it makes sense.
Yeah. Let's just say we've got a doc that's listening and they're like, this does seem to make sense, whether I'm getting ready to get started or I've been practicing for a while, and maybe it just makes sense to join a group where I'm going to get these discounts, but I'm not going to have to worry about where my product is coming from, that I'm not going to get the glue that's 2 months away from expiring, or some of the things that we definitely see out there. What would you tell them as far as advice on what they should do to think about the buying group, yours specifically, but also just in not only supplies and how often, how do they manage that and coming to you to say, okay, show me where I'm going to get my savings? Can you talk about that?
I usually, when I first talk to the doctor, I find out what companies they're buying from and just what kind of patterns they have. If they know what their supply cost is, which many don't.
Yeah.
Many don't know what they're paying for guards.
Unfortunately.
That's
Yeah.
delegated. I know.
Yeah.
And I'm not shaming anybody. It's
Mm-mm.
hard. Running an orthodontic practice is monumental.
Yep.
I opened 4 locations. My team has opened hundreds of locations. They've been in the trenches wearing every single hat. And it's not easy. It's not an easy feat. But I think if you get somebody that really is good and give them some time, they have to have time. You can't. The thing about it, I think, with ordering platforms is the assistant is still putting the orders in. They're going to someone that's still taking their time. And with ordering platforms, once the orders get to them, those people put them in because it doesn't sync straight from the assistant putting it into the software to the company.
Yeah.
And so it's going from the assistant's hands to the person at the software company. That person's putting it in. It's going, for example, to Reliance or AmTouch or whoever. Then those people have to put it into their website before it goes to them. I think part of the reason I'm not a real fan of those is because you're passing it through 3 hands and there's a margin of error and there's time involved and extra expense. And it's one thing to get a report, which we can do. If anybody wants a report to see how much they saved, we just find out what companies they buy from and we can spit those reports out and show them. But at the end of the day, what's the most important thing is what is your supply cost running your practice?
Yeah.
And Chris Benson, I was talking to Chris yesterday because we were talking about the fact that starts are down and they've been down for 3 years. If starts are down for the orthodontist, that means the companies are down. So everybody's having a hard time.
Yep.
And in the last, I think, 2 years, there's been a couple of dozen startups that have not made it. Dental Well was one of them that folded, which a lot of people were really shocked when that happened. We're busier than ever because people are now seeing, okay, it's a little bit harder to get these people in the door and we need to look at things and be more prudent with our money.
Yep.
And so we continue to grow. My philosophy is still ortho exclusive. We do have some orthodontists that might have another specialty in the practice or whatever, but there has to be an orthodontist in the practice.
Yeah. I'm gonna just circle back around to one thing that when you talk about doctors having an understanding of their numbers and what that means. And I just want to say maybe to some of my younger docs or whatnot, we're not just talking about knowing the percentage of expense on your P&L. I think what Mary is really talking about is having a real understanding of where are you ordering from now and how much is it costing you from what you're ordering to, you know, how much are you paying in shipping or not paying in shipping, all those different things, like really having a good breakdown. And I just want to confirm, Mary, that I am thinking of it the same way you are, where we really want them to understand that because it isn't just about moving the needle on the P&L by a percentage or two. It's really about having an understanding of how do you save in real dollars and time
Right.
what you are doing once a quarter, once a month. And having also been in an ortho practice many years ago when I was working in practices, one of the biggest things that I would see is you'd pay this employee, your top dollar employee, to sit there for hours and go through the at that point they were the booklets and call the different companies and ask for the different prices and the this, that, and the other. And you could tie up an 8-hour day and they want to do that every week.
No. It's good to have a handle on what you have in your office each week so you don't run out, but you don't need to do inventory every week and you don't need to order every week. If you order more, you're going to order less often.
Yep.
And like what you were just saying with shipping, we have a lot of companies with free shipping. Shipping has really gone up. I was talking to a doctor that's a member and she had bought some chairs, not a company on our list. One chair, she was charged $2,000 shipping and she just about lost it. It wasn't in the quote. She didn't know it was coming. And freight has just gotten out of hand.
Yep.
And some companies have gone to where you do need to order a minimum, say $50 or $200 or whatever, just so that they're not losing money. Because over time is if every doctor ordered onesies and twosies and they spent $16 when shipping is $16, companies can't be profitable and stay in business.
Yeah.
They end up having to raise up their prices or have minimums or something. And we try to educate our members once a month. And if you can get to once a quarter, you just cut out 8 ordering cycles by going to once a quarter.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of time. You don't need to sit and do all the shopping and comparing. If you're in a group like us, we do that. And then we do the negotiating and we pass all the savings to you.
Yeah.
Everything is on a website. You can simply log in, to AmTouch or 4imprint or whatever. You have a username or a code to use and they confirm they have our database. And it's so simple and so fast.
Yeah.
Some of the companies now, the software is so good. Like, for example, AmTouch, you can send them a big list of everything you buy, and then they'll send you a report back and show you everything.
Yeah.
With us, without us, and the savings.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. As we finish up here, and I can't even believe the time has went by this quickly here, but if somebody, again, is not part of the list, has not signed up yet, what is going to be the best way, Mary, that they can talk to you, maybe just to find out about the group or to find out about the companies that are on your list? What's the best way that they can reach out?
The best way is just go to our website. It's Mary with an I, maryslist.com. Just send us your contact form. I like to talk to every doctor before you join and get to know you and what your practice needs are. Or come by and see us next month at the AAO in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Our booth is on the main aisle right across from ULab by Tech Select. And this year we're throwing a big party. We've rented out the Mashulu pirate ship where the Philadelphia Eagles throw their big parties. And we've rented out the whole venue on Saturday night. All our members and staff and consultants that, like you, thank you for being one of our sponsors to help put this together. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Unlimited food and bar, and we're going to have karaoke and a DJ and fireworks, and it's going to last 4 hours.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. That's great. And again, Mary, I thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And I know for the docs that I work with and the clients that we have together, there's a huge savings in being a part of the group. And I think especially the work that you do to just make sure we're getting the best pricing out there, it's huge. And it really does make a big difference in our practices. So thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's always great to see you.
Absolutely. I don't know if you remember this from the last time, but the way I like to finish it up is with a little speed round. So are you ready for...
Oh, I didn't know these were coming again.
I'll make it easy on you.
Okay, good. No trick questions.
No trick questions.
Okay.
How about this one? What is one daily habit or ritual that helps you stay productive or balanced?
Oh, gosh. I think I get up every morning and I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
And I count my blessings and the fortune that I've been given. And it's just a lot of fun. I love my team and the doctors. And I don't know, I wake up every morning and have dogs all around me and life is good.
Yeah, life is good. I always love watching your posts on social. I'm like, if you're not either doing something really amazing with food, you've got these lovely little animals around that are just creating all kinds of joy in your life.
Yes. Or my grandson on the ski slope.
Yeah, exactly. All right. How about this one? What is your go-to strategy for getting unstuck if you are facing a tough problem?
Oh, my husband. He's a life coach.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He wrote the training program for Tony Robbins. So
wow.
He's talked me off the cliff many times.
I'm sure. All right. And then the last one. What is one piece of advice you wish you had followed earlier in your career?
Oh, gosh. I think I wished it would be a lot easier if I had started investing when I was 20. Yeah. And just put that money aside. And I wish that all the money that I'd given to Social Security and Medicare, I could put into a CD.
Right? Absolutely. Oh, that's great. This has been, again, such a pleasure. You're a friend of mine, and I just appreciate what you're doing in the industry and the space that you're holding there for us. So thanks again for being on Hey Docs.
Thank you, Jill.
All right. See ya.
See you. Take care. See you soon.